Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the LEGO Factory Train series. This is model number 24, a mini switcher diesel. Now this, as a model, is cool. The way it was put together is the worst thing I've ever seen for any LEGO model ever. This is coming from a fan as well. These models are made by fans, and I can only assume, especially after building this model, that the instructions were designed by fans as well. So, oh boy, here we go. So this model is interesting. So the first thing that you do is obviously you make the base. This whole section, this 10 stud long section with the wheels and the bit in the middle, is supposed to be a thing where you can replace it with a 9-volt motor. That is interesting because obviously you can take this all out and you can swap it with the motor. That means this 2 stud section here and this 3 long stud section here is completely separate. The only thing attaching them to the main base is a little plate on top, like between there and obviously one between there as well, that keeps it together. Underneath, there's nothing attaching them. Again, understandable seeing as this will be taken out to be replaced with a motor. But in instructions, well, this won't need to be a thing where we need to worry about it anymore, but there has to be a thing that says if you're going to use a 9-volt motor, use this set up to this point, where obviously like from here when you go upwards the instructions are going to be the same. But if you're not going to use the motor, build this way, because these kept falling off. There was no way to attach them. There were many parts on top as well that weren't attached to anything. So these are 1x6 plates here, the red and white ones, just like stacked next to each other going like that. These are 1x6 facing that way because obviously with this being a kind of representative for a motor, it has the 4x6 tile with the 1 stud in the middle, like you would use for a coach base, or yeah, you know what I mean, right? So with that in the way, there's parts on top where you can't actually attach them to anything. You kind of have to just leave them there and just like pray that you don't knock it so it all flies off. And the same goes for the very end plates as well. They just sit there. They're not attached to anything. It's not until a couple of instructions later where it shows that these bricks appear and you can actually attach them to the rest of the model, which was very frustrating because it came to a point where I put them to a side and said to myself, right, don't forget to add these on. And then it got to a point where I thought, right, I wonder if I could try and balance them on the buffers. Then eventually it came to a point where, fuck it, I'm just going to hold it because I am picking this up. I'm obviously going to and from my PC where I'm reading the instructions. So this is going to become a bit of an issue if I'm constantly knocking it over and the plates are falling off. So eventually you get to the point where these attach back on, and these are just bloody awful. There's a moment where, if I could try and point to it, so like where the tip of my thumb is, you can see this beam. Behind the beam here is a 1x1 brick. This is symmetrical as well, so this is on the other side too. That 1x1 brick is one of the ones where you just sit it on that flat tile base. And it's, again, not until a few instructions later when it actually says, now you add these bricks that attach it all together. I thought, why do that? Instead of applying, like, why not make it so the instruction says, right, leave that there as a gap for now, but in the next instruction you're going to put these 1x1 bricks in onto this brick and you're going to put it all together like that. That would be so much better. It would make so much sense as well. Even with this, at the front, there is a slope, a light, and a 1x2 tile that's all attached together. Also at the front, you can see there's a 1x2 tile with 1 starter mill, which is that one. And the rest of them are like vents pieces. There's no way to attach any bricks to them without them falling off. So, as you can see, free moving. The instructions showed you put the light on, and you get your slope, and you just leave it there. Now, personally, I knew to grab one of these and attach it on. But I don't get why the instructions can't say, put this together first, then attach it. It's fucking stupid. I genuinely think this was made by the fan who made this model with those parts. Because it just doesn't work like that. No wonder LEGO didn't want to publish the instructions themselves, because they're stupid. Well, they are for this model at least. So, you know, the main body itself is built up pretty well. There's lots of plates along the top to help create some detail and help get it to a right level, which is nice and all. Using the ladders at the front there, again, to get some more detail going. When I first looked at this, I thought, that kind of looks like a character from, like, Thomas. And there was another Diesel later on as well that I thought looked like Mavis. If you're a Thomas fan, you'll know who Mavis is. And if you want to look ahead up with the other models, then you'll know which one I'm on about. So, last complaint. This is one of the sections here when I was putting the roof together. As you can see, it's not the best thing ever, but at the same time, this isn't bad. So, you're using the proper, and I mean proper, chunky brick slope parts, okay? So, you add those on, and obviously you've got to work around that door that's half a stud in. This is appearing, obviously, more and more. I do like that idea, it's pretty good. I don't like that it is one red tile lower than the rest of the building, which is a bit stupid, but oh well, gotta live with it really. So the thing I don't like is that this, at the moment, is a bit free moving. So you see I can wiggle it about there. And when it came to adding this brick on, it was a nightmare to try and get that door in place and then attach this. When I first put that on, I thought I had it on securely, and then it popped straight off afterwards. It was not secure at all. The only way I kept it secure was by adding that bar piece. And now that's guaranteed to stay on. All in all, this, as a model, can be a lot better than what it is in terms of construction. There's not enough security in the way that it's been built for it to be a good model. If you want to go ahead and build it, then go ahead and build it. Obviously, I can't stop you. But you don't have my recommendation. This is one of the worst models in the set. Solely because of how it's built. When you finish it and you look at it again, it looks really nice. I do think this is a good looking diesel. Especially since that smaller diesels are a bit of a rarity. Especially when you look at the LEGO City sets that are made these days. But again, all I can say is if you want to build it, then build it. That's down to you, but you'll have to build it up your own way. Especially if you're not going to use the motor, then chances are you're not going to, because 9-volt track isn't used too much these days. It's all power functions. But that's all you. So there we go. That is the Switcher Diesel. All hype, no show. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.